So the audience basically should know that the Chain Busters is created as a personification of all those people who have been working in this industry for quite a while. All right, these are those people who are the outliers in the Indian blockchain and crypto industry. They are the ones who have kept walking this path when the going was tough. There was the RBI ban. There was a hostile environment in the authorities, but they are the ones who basically stood their grounds in their chosen business. They fought with the authorities for their rights. They made the right noises, okay, about the rights and wrongs of the industry. They have always been advocating for the right adoption of the blockchain industry. And the best part is, they stand for transparency in money, data, information, and they've always kept biddling, okay, biddle, and they've kept hustling. So what you see in front of you today, by guys, these are the guys who are the real chain busters of the industry. So welcome Vikas, Abhinav, Sunil, Sandeep, Nelwar, Mayur Relekar. You guys are the chain busters, all right? People who are basically trying to create a dent in the Indian blockchain industry. Now, what I really want to do is, what exactly is lockdown? All right, lockdown basically is what we all facing. We are all at home. We are all, you know, working out of home, trying to solve our own problems. But the problem is not limited to each of you. The problem is of the people who are watching us right now. Now, I want to throw this question across to all of you in the form of our session that is there today. The lockdown has brought everybody down to its knees. All right. Now, how is this phase affecting you guys? I mean, the field is yours. Please discuss, please brainstorm, bring out something out of this entire discussion. So what is this phase affecting you, and how are you trying to solve it, resolve it? Anyone?
Yep. So I can take a hit at it. So
Go for it.
basically,
Yeah, please.
from our side, I think that we are a big believer of first of all risk management, as well as see things as kind of opportunity when it presents it in the face of an adversity. So it's like an old saying. So for us, for at Matic Network, if you have been watching us, we actually are thriving in this mode. The markets are very bad right now. Many of our competitors seems to be going down, but since we were able to manage our risks well, we are very well positioned to maybe achieve dominant positions in the coming days when the days are good. So right now we are in the aggressively building and kind of business development. Everything is going 2x the way it was going before. And the good thing is that since we are in the technology business, we don't need our you don't need people anyways in the office. So and we actually started the quarantine much before then the whole lockdown started and all that. So for us, like as I said, that we are actually thriving in the space, and if you manage the risks well and are able to survive in this kind of adversity, once the things are back, once the markets are back, once the economy is back, you are the ones who can make it really big. So just keep striving and keep moving in this, and just be there. Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So I will take the second chance on that. So we as a company were trying hard to change it, to transform from a services company to a product company, right? So I would actually share what challenges we are facing. I think most of the companies are trying to sort of combat them in their own ways, but I would sort of like to bring out some of the challenges so that people in the audience can actually connect with that, right? One of the core challenges in our roadmap that we had to transition from services, the developed expertise over there for last 3 years, was to actually come on to some products now. So now when you come to product side, you definitely have certain market segments where you want to sort of make a mark, or you have a certain market where actually you want to capture a pie there, right? And you have a certain budget with you, you have a certain team with you that you want to sort of work with, right? So making a product is kind of a very sort of a targeted approach, right? But right now, because of this lockdown, the one challenge that we are facing is on the side of marketing now. Because what we are seeing now is that the user behavior, as well as some of the markets like supply chain management, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are actually facing a lot of transformation and a lot of chaos there, right? So as you all might have actually heard reports or read reports that in China now contactless delivery has become a new norm, right?
Yeah.
They are actually out in the. They are actually the only country right now who have passed this phase of basically a pandemic, and now they have opened their services again. They have opened the markets again, right? So the one thing that they are now experiencing there is a sort of a exponential change in user behavior, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even we are in blockchain and even we are in crypto, we also understand that finally we will interact with the businesses on ground. We will interact with the businesses which are already working there, right?
Mm-hmm.
We will now have to accustom our products, accustom our marketing according to the changes that are facing.
Because
Basically,
this entire chain buster series aims at that. We build more consensus among these people, and there are people on the attendee side who are probably wanting to come up with something or the other as far as startups are concerned. So when you look at the opportunity per se, is it lockdown per se? Is it an opportunity or is it a threat? Abhinav, I mean, what do you feel right now? You have been working in this area for quite a while. You're building your own product. Murmur has seen the ups and downs. All right, EOS is seeing ups and downs. So, what is your perception? And the question is for everybody. Is it really an opportunity or is it a threat?
I think like it is if you see it as a threat, then it's bad, because you're harming yourself, because if you think something is a threat, then you won't have the motivation to go forward. So it's the best to look at it as an opportunity, and I think it is an opportunity because you can get ahead of the market in a lot of products, because you can really focus on just some downtime and just focus on your product and improve your product. So for example, on the Murmur side, we are currently working with the Eternity Accelerator team, and looking at pushing out Murmur as a place where you can identify fake news using blockchain and some other technology. So we are looking at a couple of opportunities, couple of areas where we want to basically set our team a target saying by April 30th, because probably deadline will extend or lockdown will extend till April 30th. By April 30th, we should be ready with, let's say, the alpha or beta versions of at least 3 products which we can push in these market segments. So that is the aim, and try and see if we can achieve that.
So product upgrade, product doing things in that fashion.
Yeah.
But where are you finding the manpower to do that?
So with the current team that we have, obviously it's been tough to manage cash flows and everything. But I don't know, somehow we are, I think, managing. So I think it's best to manage at least for next 2 months. We'll have to manage and see if we can come out with the products. Then potentially we'll get. It's a very big upside for everybody. So that's what we are.
Yeah, Mayur.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it is. I mean, if we have to look at it as a threat, right? There's no like escaping that in any sense, because there are things on the horizon that we can't even imagine will happen in terms of like the economy and markets and things like that. And just kind of going back to what Sunil was mentioning, I think building partnerships is a great idea. But I think if you're building right now and if you're going to start up, and this is what we are doing, we've in fact pivoted from our initial offering, and I would suggest that you kind of pick markets that are probably evergreen in these times. Right? We've all heard and seen what the wonders that Zoom is doing in these markets, right? So, not to say just go ahead and build another Zoom or anything like that, but kind of pick those markets which are probably going to thrive at this point of time. If you're building on blockchain and crypto, I'd suggest kind of like probably stay away from things like, say, logistics, those low hanging fruit, which people typically try and do, but those markets are probably not going to do very well. And a startup trying to build in that space is probably not going to, see a lot of success. So I think you have to be like very pick the right sort of market, and I think that's fairly important. I'd also quickly like to go back to what Sandeep said initially and how they're moving at 2x. We are clearly moving at 0.5x. And
Sandeep, you have to give him some, inputs.
no, so actually, what happened was, I mean, we've been a remote team for the longest time. I mean, since we started, we've been a remote team, and we've always been very okay with the idea of like building at the speed of sound and not the speed of light. And but right when this started, I think
Which probably Sandeep was doing, huh?
they're still doing that. I mean,
Okay.
those guys are going into another dimension.
Yeah, now they are well funded, no?
So
Anyway.
right when this started, also I think we all the entire team kind of sat down and discussed, and we kind of decided that things are going to go slow, and there's no two ways about it. I mean, end of the day, I have to sit and do jadu pocha and wash the vessels and take care of my child and things like that. I'm barely going to find productive time, and the same case with everyone who's like stuck at home right now.
Don't let the other wives and other kids here.
Sure, and especially if you are, I mean, if you have a partner and if your partner is also working, then there's only so much you can do in terms of being able to manage things. So we decided very early on that things are going to go slow. It's going to be fine, and I think what Abhinav said, makes so much sense. This is the time to really build and kind of get ahead of the curve for. Just to make sure that you have products sort of semi-ready, have POCs ready, and things like that. Pick the right market, and then just go ahead and put it out there and be ready for when maybe money comes in, and maybe when those markets are ready to go back.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, see, particularly for the startups which are in blockchain or crypto right now, I mean, I'm saying this from the kind of research that we are actually doing, because we have a crypto media product also, so we kind of have our hands on that research also. So we are the first people actually who get to see what is changing where, right? More or less in our sort of limited capacity. So see, blockchain has always been something that gave us a proclamation that we can actually sort of identify and we can actually prove the origin of things, right? We can sort of help you understand that from where that or which field that particular apple or mango came, right? This is of a more significance after this pandemic as it was even before, right? Till now, people were not asking that from where my food on Zomato or Swiggy was coming, right? But now they will ask. They will ask whether that food is contactless or not, right? They will ask a lot of questions.
Correct.
This
Yeah.
is a very amazing time for blockchain startups, in my opinion, right?
Correct.
And the kind of streamlining opportunity or the kind of opportunity we were looking, where actually blockchain finally gets in connection with the existing supply chain or logistics or those kind of market. This is where now we have that bridge, right, which can actually be built.
So the opportunity is right now to be able to. Sorry, Vikas, you saying something?
No, I was saying something. I was saying that I actually wanted to expand what Sunil was saying, that, and even I also internally discuss within my team meetings and all that. So whenever there is a recession, right? So it's not like it's not 100% of the times that everything is going down. There are always pockets in the economy which keep going up even when there are recession, right? There's a recession. And I think that the blockchain pocket, like in the entire economy and all that, blockchain pocket was actually designed for exactly this occasion, right? Exactly these kind of, black swan, white swan, whatever event you want to call it, right? Where now the countries are printing their kind of money and all that. The institutional trust, even of WHO kind of institutions, is at all-time low. This is the time where this industry has to, stand up and shine. And this industry was designed for exactly this thing. So I believe that whoever are in this industry and are striving in this pocket, they might not actually see a recession. They may actually see a decent growth, time and days in the coming, times.
Yeah, I think since I've heard a lot of our co-speakers, so first of all, I'll draw a parallel with Sandeep. We are almost doing the agility. See, the way we have been working is always been remote, but because we follow agile, we always sync up on a daily basis. I think the company has never seen a deficiency or a slump in the productivity. So somehow we are actually on our prime when it comes to these kind of situation, because that doesn't affect us. or you can say for a matter of fact that, okay, is it called quarantine now? Because we have been doing this thing from last 2 years, right? And that puts companies like these, where I would say blockchain people, because blockchain businesses were the one to, maybe you can absorb the nature of work which is remote very very seamlessly. That's why we are able to absorb these kind of fluctuation that has happened now around us. That first it caused this due to pandemic, a lot of businesses have to move to remote. So that's one. Second thing, products versus services. I think product company always have a better chance to survive these things, because they are not just they need not to hunt the people like who are ready to get into like who will be looking out. Let's say somebody is ready with money, because in these kind of things sometimes it becomes very hard to find customers. So having a product serving a need, pivoting quickly, can actually help you to go take you home very quickly. So that's one. And and overall per se, we see it as a very very definite opportunity, but we are not that still having that humanitarian aspects of business as well. We are also trying to serve with a, see, as a software product company, we all just have software. So we are also trying to actually help, or we have driven this campaign that, hey guys, if any of our product if matches with your requirement, it's just free, no question asked, it's just free. Because we don't want to survive, because it's a very good point which Sunil highlighted, that at this time I generally follow a concept of ant colonies. Like ant colonies, they hang on to each other, and they make a ball out of it. Like even if they go in water, you cannot push them down, because they are just like water, they float on top of it. At this time we actually have to work like an ant colony, where we are holding on to each other so very tight that if anyone try to push you down, the other two angle actually pull you up. So that buoyancy force is always there. So I really like the point which Sunil mentioned. But how do we do that? That is, I think this is the time where everybody got the cognizant to the fact that yes, it is very very much required. So I guess all of these data points which is coming to my way, I think I'm very much feeling positive that as a startup, I think we have much more better chance to create an impact than any other time. Because the way crypto community came in front for PM Cares Fund, even in these things, I'm just touching on that aspect. That is also phenomenal. I saw a tweet of Sandeep and many more people, Ashim Sood, Crypto Kanun, and all those people. So everybody, I think the crypto community, and anyhow that way is also very much pushing. So I think overall we are also trying to send positive vibes in the ecosystem. As a startup, I am feeling very much okay with this kind of thing, because we are just working in the similar way, the way we have been working till now. And we are just building stuff, and and I think the pace hasn't slowed down.
But
So
nobody
I
was,
have
nobody was sorry, Sunil, you're saying.
I have a slight opinion here that, see, we also need to understand that a startup is in which state currently. So there are few startups which are just sort of working on the product. They are into product development phase. There are a few startups who actually
Yeah, good
have
point.
gone into an initial traction phase, and there are a few startups who are into scaling phase, which already have burnt a budget.
Correct.
These are the startups which are actually
So
the heat.
yeah, I'll take this point by considering, let's say, consider Matic. Matic has gone to a level where just that is giving them the cushion to survive longer. So it's all about like how much cash do you have in the bank. But now there is a Simon Sinek, the author, that says like, can you guys all of your team, can you suffer a little so that someone of your team, one or two, suffer a lot? So can the whole team actually again create an ant colony structure, and can you guys push through it? Let's say you guys have, let's say, consider for an example, you have 2 months of budget. Can you take 33% of the cut and make it 3 months? Can you guys just see that? So it's all about, of course, it is at the end of the day, it will boil down to the cash. The intention or the emotion doesn't convert into finance, but you have to manage the finance well. If you can do that, and if your team understands that, I think that you got the best team in your team. I think that then you are sitting on the very first product. The team is the first product in the startup. And if you
And
can,
Sunil,
if that product is
I actually,
yes,
Sunil, on your part, that it also depends on which state the startup is, and so one thing is that disclaimer is that I like the Mayur practically, in a very practical manner described that and that what are the problems and all that. And there is actually a large element of luck. I'm a big follower of
Okay.
and then at the end there is a large element of luck. There is no doubt about that. We can thump our chest that
Agreed.
oh I'm this and I'm that. At the end there is a large part that is luck. But
Mm.
all we can do at our end, like I would say, for a startup, like till the time it can be called a startup, it's always on day zero.
Yeah. Right.
I don't because we were in the same stage when 2017, and 2018 beer market came into crypto, and that was much like almost dissimilar works to the crypto community. It was like kind of an ice age. Nobody knew whenever the funding is going to come back in this market and all that. And those days were very very difficult for us, and especially for us from India. Nobody believed in Indian projects, right? Even
Mhm.
only now, once Matic was there, and then there are other few projects, and now with WazirX acquisition, only now people have and this Supreme Court decision, only now people are looking up to India for
Yep.
in blockchain field. Before that,
Yep.
we all know, like we were just outcasted from the global blockchain community.
I think it was more of matter of convenience as well, Sandeep. We were not a convenient nation at that point in time. We had authorities facing somewhere else. We had RBI talking about banning it. We had IS officers calling Bitcoin a Ponzi scheme. So now, because the RBI has given us the go ahead, and that too, I mean, if Varun Sethi is in the audience,
In the
they will
house.
say that there are 4 or 5 points.
This was certainly a matter of convenience also, but the early startups that came out from India and did the ICOs in 2017 and all, they also did not set a very good example for us, right? So
Mhm.
I don't want to name some of the projects, but there were many projects referencing those everybody used to question us also, like and although for India it was unfair also, because we had only 1% of the scammy startups that China would have had, right? And the Chinese were still able to raise money and go forward. But for India, everybody like somehow outcasted us completely.
So we had more scammy products, and then we had good products.
Yeah, initially I would say that they were
Yeah, I agree.
projects. Yeah, they were good
Reliability.
products also, but the ones who got the international attention were might not have been the best one, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Reliability has
Sandeep,
not
I
been
think
a strong suit, right?
Sorry. Yeah.
Reliability has never been a strong suit of Indian projects. So that is a baggage or luggage we always have on our shoulders, right?
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
Global.
but I'm saying now we are in good hands since Matic and Merlin doing well.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are definitely, taking a lead here, and they are
So,
definitely
so
doing a wonderful job when
that
it comes to actually global exposure for
yep.
Indian startups, right?
So yeah, Sandeep, I believe the weight is completely on your shoulders right now, because everybody is pointing on to you. All right. So with those heavy shoulders, they
We won't
are all
disappoint.
looking forward to collaboration. Helping them in risk management. Creating markets for them.
Yeah, we won't
I think
disappoint.
you
Like,
are the best.
Mayur is here. Like, we do a lot of things with Mayur also, and he's coming up
Yeah.
with very fantastic stuff. Of course, this has delayed a few things, but his products and the way his team works, the quality of the products they produce is absolutely global in nature. And I think we have a lot of teams like that. And that's Shantanu. I mean, you and me share that same this thing, right? You also from our army, you are from an army background, and I'm like very kind of India, and all that, right? So we are like I strongly feel like this Air Meet also products like this. Maybe we Indians will be able to make a mark in the product side. Till now, we have very very few products which are there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So,
So
so I remember about Airmeet itself. When I was taking a demo to run this roundtable series, these guys are completely there. If you see, I mean, the first half an hour that I spent, I just sent a message to them, and they were on it. All right. So they have this burning desire to perform, to do well, and in that demo that they gave us, there were many people from all across the world. I think there were more than 7-8 countries in one demo session. All right, I think they're going to do well. It's just that how do we manage to overcome this situation and take the opportunity in our hands. All right, this is what I believe. And one reason why I created this roundtable are consists of people who are who have been there, done that kind of stuff, in the thick and thin of things. In what do you call, when the going was very tough.
Yeah.
Hence,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the onus is on all of you to come up with things, come up with ideas. Because if you look at on the right hand side, if you look at all the attendees, some of them already successful startups and all that, but many of them want to do something.
Yep.
And this is all meant for them. So you will have to probably give them a direction or help them navigate through this crisis.
Yeah. And we have a very good quality of things like coming up. Like Sunil, I met first time, but I had already heard about this product. Vikas, I know, is working on a lot of very good industry and enterprise
Yeah.
initiatives and all that. That's like some of his work is really, really cool. And Abhi is a veteran in the space. Like Murmur, at one point,
Yeah.
like number one game and all that, number one app and all that on some of the blockchain tracking fields and all that. And I'm pretty sure that it will be back soon. So I think the quality wise we are improving very fast, and who knows.
Yeah, Sandeep, you're very modest. You're probably like
Right.
yeah, you're probably like on Mount Everest, and everyone's still climbing like Western Ghats.
we are not at all at Mount Everest. We are still maybe some small mountains, but yeah, Himalayas and Mount Everest is too
So
far.
yeah, you could be the other range, and Mount Everest is yet to come.
Yeah, but we all of us have to strive to reach there. And if one of us reaches, like once Matic went to Launchpad, it opened up a lot of gates. Right now, people are
Yeah,
thinking that okay, Indian projects. After us, we had Marlin. I don't know. Like Neil was also supposed to come, right?
Neil had a family medical emergency, so he had to rush.
Okay.
He would have been here, yes. He was.
Yeah, Neil is also a very good friend. Marlin team, all like top 100 rankers, IIT JEE, right? And all like fantastic people. Who knows like what they are going to do? So I'm very optimistic on this, on Indian space.
Awesome. So
I wanna add something here related to the marketing aspect of it, because I think this is the time not to sell, but it is more to educate people and create more heart-to-heart connection with your targeted market, rather than because right now the onus is upon you to, like, whether you are helping them to get out of that mental problems that they might be going through. First of all, they are all quarantined, and then they are also worried about their businesses. How can you actually help them push through this turbulent time? And again, once, let's say, if you help, let's say, 100 people today, and even 1% or 2% of them will stick with you, and they will be with you for the life. That's the kind of, as per your target market and customer segment, whichever you falls in, like as per your business model. I think that's the approach that we are taking. We are just helping out, and we are just extending our reach to anyone and everyone, just helping them. If anything happens to be, or even in the remotest possibility that we can extend our help, we are there for you.
yeah, because you had mentioned about ant colony, all right? Now, ant colony is a super colony. There are pockets of people who are working and everywhere, but they are all interconnected and networked. Now, the people in the Indian crypto community or the blockchain community are well networked.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
But then you were talking about being able to cushion each other.
Yep.
All right. What is your thought in that direction? What is your proposal? How can let's assume that the 5 people who are there in the team in this entire round table, what are you guys going to do together? What can be some proposal that you have in mind?
Yeah, I think I can first of all relate to what I have been doing individually in my company as a team. Then we all came together. First of all, decision making thing in my company is pretty democratic. I would love to be always the last voice in the room, so that my voice doesn't become the loudest. So the point is this: let's first of all understand that what we can do other than blockchain, which is really really cool, and can help other businesses also, because it is not just about the blockchain industry as a whole who's just going through this turbulent time. It's a lot of people.
Yeah,
even the small, just consider, let me be very specific to the MSME department. There are 63 million people who are like, and they are the most like job provider, the community that helps a lot of people. Now suddenly they got a knee jerk. This situation caught them off guard, and might be, let's say, even 1% of them have to go back from the offline to the online. How will you make sure that those people are not feeling those challenges in which let's say we are let's say magician? Software people are generally magician. They can actually do something and everything. This product is a magical product. We are all here. Can we make it so simple for them and help them actually push through? And what are those?
Yeah.
You just have to keep asking, like your social media. I think that today, I think the social media should be should be full with the positive messages and asking people, hey, how can I help? So maybe the first idea, maybe I can quickly come up. Let's pool our reserved capabilities, and can we just dedicate 1 to 2 hours every day and just push?
1 to 2 hours in what?
Let's see, first of all, let's say I am good at other than that, let's say I've been the guy in, and just consider the email setup. A lot of people might not have done, even like they do not know how to set up an email, but because suddenly they have to go or let's consider they don't know how to set up a Air Meet, or they have to have a Zoom call, because let's say there is buyer and seller, they do not know. Earlier the only mechanism they knew, physically meeting and then showing it and doing it. Can't they do? And maybe WhatsApp is the easiest way to do it, but what are the more efficient ways? What are the more professional ways? So let's say cloud machines that the people might need to set up, email setup, a little bit of a smaller website setup. I'm just talking very bare minimum. It doesn't have any relation with the blockchain space. Maybe
Yeah.
it's just that you empower them with something which, so that they can actually also not feeling the burnt of this time.
Okay.
So, and
Air Meet,
this-
everybody can come to me, because I've
you have
taken
mastered it. You have mastered
and
it.
I have also screwed it up in the beginning today. So now I understand the good and the bad also. All right.
Yeah.
I think right. So, we need to pool in our what capabilities in the form of
Just create an Excel sheet. Let's consider, okay, I'm just giving thoughts on top of my mind. Let's say Excel sheet with 1 or 2 tasks that you would be happy to extend your services with, and then let's say float this Excel sheet, let's say via Matix handle. Right. Right. No, because just the outreach. See, your intention will only be let's say will come out when you are actually using those channels by which you can. So you have to use the biggest telephone that you have. So social media is one, and which handles that we have to use. I think your handle and a lot of people others handle. Everybody have to individually also do the same. All I'm saying, like, start the Tesla model, the top, then slowly, gradually, so that this message is actually this Excel sheet reaches out to a lot of people, because people have created a dashboard where we have a list of companies who are laying off people, but I guess we should create a Excel sheet where we are saying, hey, these are the reserved technical help that we can extend. And maybe because in this time only the internet based services can be extended only.
Okay. So okay, fair enough. So
so I have a point to add here. So
yes, Sri.
Adding a few lines to what Vikas has just now sort of told us. Currently, the people who need the most help are the salespeople in all over the world. Okay,
Yeah.
so sales is actually down. So these are the people who actually will be feeling the heat the first time, right? You already might be getting a lot of news that sales departments are being sort of laid off, and the people who are working on ground, like agents working for insurance companies, right? The people who are working on ground and were doing the sales, on which actually a lot of companies depend, right? I mean, they are the foot soldiers for us, right? Even for software developer companies, right?
True.
So the thing is, right now, I think these are the people who need most help in terms of if we talk about workforce that is going to be affected, right? So maybe we can come up with something where actually we all who are going for go-to-market strategies, or people who have that budget, maybe we can sort of start exploring or making a channel where actually companies are not able to sustain their employees, and maybe we can start hiring from them first, as compared to hiring people who are already in a job, they already have a position, right? Because these are not people who don't have skills. They have amazing skills, but it's just that their companies don't have the sustainability, right?
True.
What I'm saying is that, so for example, there are a lot of companies, I don't want to name them. These are amazing. I mean, some of them are even unicorns, right?
Okay.
So they already have made salary cuts, right? And we as individuals in the industry, we know what is next to come, right? We are not looking at sort of very small scale layoffs. We are looking at a very high percentage of layoffs now, right? And we need to actually help these people from going into depression. These are amazing individuals who have, made amazing things in these companies, right? So how do we sort of, prevent them from going into depression or going into that kind of a mental setup, right? So this was my point. If we are actually looking to help individuals, then maybe sales people are the first whom we can look for.
I'd say, from my perspective at least, and if just looking across the board at this set of speakers that we have here, right? I think the easiest bet would be to kind of reach out to startups, guys who are just trying to start up now. And I think across the board there could be all of us who can probably contribute to them, either time, I don't know money or not, but definitely time. Advice, perhaps even like help with architecting, building out their products, thinking through stuff, go to market, because this is all something that we've all sort of done at some level ourselves, and I think that's what we have most experience with, for sure. And I think we just kind of need to make sure that there are channels open to people who want to either start building or have just started building, and just make sure, right? like the guy like Sandeep and the team and Matic already do. I mean, we reached out to them, and they're helping us with a bunch of stuff. And so if I can help someone who's just kind of starting up, needs to figure some things out, whether it's with architecting their product, figuring out go to market, whatever it is, right? I think that's like a very easy bet for all of us.
So is reaching? See, I don't think approachability is a question here. Is reaching out the question? I mean, if our startups hesitant to reach out,
perhaps there's no formal platform for it. Okay. Right? I really like the idea of the Excel sheet being floated through Matic's handle. I don't want to put any more pressure on Sandeep, but just to say that these are the people who can help startups with these things, and they're available here, right? And I think if you just set up, it sounded like an amazing idea. And I think if we can just set up that platform and just proactively tell people that you can reach out to us as opposed to just saying we are available, I think that makes a lot of sense.
So there is one more opportunity that I would like to share with all the startups who are in the audience. We currently are not actually in a capacity. We are actually laying that idea down currently. And we as a startup in crypto and blockchain can actually now work very efficiently on that, because I don't think government currently is even looking on that side because of the whole pandemic thing going on, right? So the idea is that we currently know the Indian banks are not in a very great position. We know that, right? In coming months, their NPA is almost going to be more higher on the higher side. And the problem that is going to come is that the small scale businesses will have to face this kind of a credit crunch. They won't have a credit to actually sustain themselves. There won't be banks to give them loans or any kind of lending capacity, right? So what we are looking at is that the whole microfinancing structure is going to go down. Believe me, in next 6 to 7 months, we are going to see a lot of microfinancing applications going down, right? Now, what we can do as a blockchain or as a crypto startups here. See, the thing is, blockchain is something like self-sovereign from day one, right? Blockchain can actually provide you a trusted mechanism where actually credit allotment can be done, right? So my idea here is, let's say, for example, US government just announced 2 trillion of grant, right, for small scale businesses as well as medium scale businesses. Now, my question is, how will they actually distribute it? It will go through the existing channels which are corrupt. It will go through the existing channels. So actually, again, the problem will be that the money won't actually go where it is supposed to go, right? Now, as a blockchain, we can actually work on something where actually we can outline something which actually provides our Indian government, because they are also coming up with, I think, somewhere around 1.3 lakh crores of a reserve, which can be
1.7 was given by Nirmala Sitharaman for the lowest BOP people.
So as far as I know, currently they don't have that kind of mechanism. The whole workforce is engaged in preventing this pandemic, right? So how they will enable that actually this amount actually reaches out to the small scale businesses, right? How will they actually validate that this particular person is actually eligible for this kind of a grant or this kind of a amount, right? So though I am saying something that is very broad, that is not have been thought very sort of in a targeted manner. But currently, enabling sort of a medium scale business to small scale credit bridge, or a large scale business to a medium scale and small scale credit bridge, where even in the initial government might not play a role, we can actually have some small bank coming to our rescue as a custody or something like that, and we can actually build something here. And currently, I know that if small scale businesses can get credit even on a higher interest rate, they will actually go for it. But currently, problem is there isn't even credit available on a very high interest rate, right? Because banks can't come to rescue. We all are seeing their condition, right? So the broad problem statement that I am actually sort of pointing out is that how do we solve the credit problem of small scale businesses? Otherwise, they will die in next 6 to 7 months.
True.
I guess so. If I may, so what I saw recently is that very huge repo rate cut and the reverse repo rate cut in the banking streams, right? And that actually helps banks to have a lot more liquidity in their hands, right? So which will allow startups like us to have easy loans available, because banks do not make money when the money is kept to them. They make money when it is lended, and there is enough liquidity available in the market. As we are, like, I'm not gonna go very. I'm just giving you on a very higher example that the reverse repo rate and the repo rate has been cut drastically. Almost 90 basis point for the reverse repo rate, and the repo rate has been drastically cut almost by 0.5%, 50 basis points. So the liquidity now that is sitting with the bank, they can only make money by when they lend. So yes, it will be a challenge because India is not that very much structured, but still you will have much more easy way. If you will start attempting, you can still get to the OD. If there is if the startups who have some banking relationship with the banks, they can actually get their OD activated. Otherwise, there is an option to actually go for a loan. I don't want to go further. I just know these basic alternatives for a startup to survive now.
Let me give an example to actually sort of lay out the kind of impact that this problem will have. So yesterday, OYO actually announced that they are going to revoke the payments of the hotels and restaurants, right? Now they are going to revoke it for next 3 months, right? Now my question is, how will these hotels and restaurants survive actually, right? How will they actually serve their customers, right? Now, again, the question arises that yes, these guys can go to banks, but again, the question is that banks currently don't have any idea that when this amount will be repaid. So repayment is something that is going to sort of face a huge backlash, right? Banks know this. Even small lending corporates know this. You know, everybody knows this, that repayment is not a possibility in the near future, right? So maybe yeah.
Actually, I wanna take it up to from the lens of WHO. So WHO generally have a blueprint to handle for these kind of pandemics. They have a blueprint. So the way that you are seeing this 2 trillion fiscal stimulus that is coming from US, and 900 billion, almost $900 billion of worth of money coming from Canada. All these things are actually is a part to kickstart the businesses after this pandemic hits, right? So there is a blueprint which actually talks about this also, that how, because when the pandemic hit you, every economic activity comes to a halt, but to actually kickstart it, you always need this helicopter money. So this concept of money that is coming right now in other countries, right now in India, I saw it in a very detailed way what Nirmala Sitharaman ji has actually given us in this kind of time. Maybe some few more fiscal stimulus things for the very direct way, in a very direct way, might come also. But I'm not the one to speak on that way. But taking the clue from the fiscal, from the you can just consider the options that US government and Canada government is taking. So I guess things might become easy, but I don't know how soon.
So yeah, but that's the government side that you're talking about. As individuals, as startup, as mentors in the industry, all right. The focus right now has to be what are you or what are we as the entire community going to offer to each other, as well as the people who are aspiring startups. Now we are almost at the end of the entire thing. We are almost taking 20 minutes extra. Thanks to all of you. My question here is there are some times to come. I'm assuming that we are extending our lockdown, we are extending our quarantine for another 1 month, maybe more, depending on how the situation happens. Okay, what is your suggestion as industry leaders to this entire group of people who were aspiring startups just about a month back? कि हमें we have to start, हमको मई में start करना है, and right now all their plans are all shelved. All right, now they have to sustain themselves, they have to work in that direction. So individually, even Vikas, we can talk, we can start with you itself. All right, is your suggestion, all right, to the masses around, कि क्या prepare करना चाहिए, how do we move forward from here, okay, how do we analyze opportunity and threat, and this is for everybody, this question.
So yeah, so actually it starts again with the cash in hand. How much cash do you have, or how much cash that you, let's consider those people who are just new entrepreneurs. If they are new, they will learn it. They will learn it in this sense that when the resources are less, they becomes extra creative, right? Let's consider that for them. Like whichever, I'm just thinking, whichever the startups will get founded at this time, they'll be most creative in the way that they will find a way to sustain. First, second, they should continue to, they should not actually let go their idea or something. If they were really determined to do it, I think they should pursue, because this thing will subside, and if they will lose that idea, because the outside market is also not very green. So it's better to work on something which you have really let's say blossomed in yourself and came up with this idea. So I think this is the best time when you can start it, because there is a lot of behavior change going to happen, and which can actually draw a parallel with the product that you might have. What Mayur was, and I think Abhinav was saying, like when you come out of this, you should have at least alpha, beta, or some products cut ready. Absolutely. To serve the purpose.
So focus on your core competencies. All right, focus on core competencies, keep on building. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, keep building, man. Never.
Yeah, okay, cool. Anyone else?
I think it's a great time to like kind of reach out to your friends and family. So because brought up the point of money, and money in the bank is very important. I know this probably very well, right? So reach out to your network, try and find. You'll be surprised how many people who probably entertain conversations with you. Friends, family, just try and raise small amounts of money, even if it's a lakh from each person. Kind of take care of that part, right? So once you have that, my only other like pieces of suggestion are just start reaching out to people who've been there, done that, in terms of the domain that you're working on. If you're building a blockchain startup, they're great guys here. I'm more than happy to contribute time and experience, the two things that I have to give away for free. And just reach out to these people. Everyone's going to help you out at this point in time, and just make sure you have your bases covered. Risk mitigation, like Sandeep mentioned earlier. And once you have those bases covered, just make sure that my third and last point that I want to make, just make sure your team is happy and they're working well. Be very, very empathetic about the situation they're in. It's the same situation for all of us. Everyone's problems are different and equally important. So don't take for granted the fact that someone's just sitting at home and probably slacking off. They probably have issues that they're dealing with in their own ways. So be very empathetic to your team. It'll pay you back manifold. So these are the three things that I'd say that every startup founder, either starting up or has just started up, should do. Make your money safe. Reach out to people in the network, people like us, people like anyone else, and three is be very, very nice to your people.
Awesome. Yeah, good. Yeah, be nice to your people. Be nice to everyone, so that somebody or the other gives you money to work.
All these things are easier. Like all of that is easier said than done. But what I also feel is that the true kind of potential or caliber of the entrepreneur is in the survival only. Like like all those self-help books will tell you that the founders are visionary and the startup entrepreneurs are this, that, perseverant. All of that is like kind of in the air stuff. At the end, an entrepreneur, if he's decently minded, he's decently intellectual, he understands things, and he has a survival instinct in it. People, they will be able to make it one day or the other. Yeah. So that's what I feel. I think this is the test of time for all of us to survive. And once we survive, then comes the stage of thriving. The market survive. Yeah.
See, according to me, this is a great time for team building, right? For example,
Team building.
right now there are a lot of Zoom calls happening, lot of meetups going on, everything is going on, right? So, and you also have some time in your hand because the kind of office management that you had to do. I mean, I'm talking about startups of a team size of 15 to 20, right? There is a lot of time management that you have to do while you go to office, right? At least that time you have in hand. This is a very amazing time to actually find right kind of people for a startup. First of all, as Mayur said, be empathetic to have some empathy for your existing team, right? Be transparent to them. Let them know what is the current situation, right? Let them know that what is about to come, first of all, so that they actually have a chance or a choice, right, to take their own decisions now, right? I mean, the first thing that I am seeing is a lot of startups. I actually had in touch with a few startups which don't have that kind of a profit percentage or revenue, and still they are like that. Yes, we will actually survive a team of, let's say, 20 or 25 people for next 6 months. So first of all, be transparent to our teams that what is about to come. Maybe let's say a salary cut is about to come or whatever is about to come. Give them a chance to actually take decisions of their own. First thing is this. The second part is that this is the right time to find leaders within your team. I mean, we have been doing in our team currently, and you might see a lot of new youngsters in our team actually, apart from me, actually taking lead roles now. So this is a time we are utilizing to actually find leaders within our team now. Some of the people have been given responsibilities that we never thought that we would actually give them. But this is allowing us to do that now because we have that much time to analyze our team strength and everything now. So the second thing is identifying leaders within your team. The third and the last part, according to me, is that being informative. So current affairs is something, right, which was thought to be for civil services exam people, but now not. It is a very relevant topic for startups now. Be informed, follow relevant people in your network, follow everyone, and don't just ignore information. Now, information is the next goal right now. If you know which market segment or what is about to come after the next 6 months or 1 year, things will change. We all know this. Things are gonna change. You know this, right? User behavior, and from user behavior to regulatory regulations and everything is going to change. So don't take information for granted. Be informed, formalize or adapt according to it.